succeeding, but not everything will look as good as it seems. Everywhere you can see that some people will be discriminated, will be treated unequal. One of the biggest inequalities in present times is that the LGBTQ plus community will be discriminated. The targeted people are mostly college students and employed LGBTQ plus people. Others will be sexually harassed even on their work or outside. Others have lost their job just because of them being part of the community. And mostly, LGBTQ plus people will be discriminated at any time. The college students that are part of the community is most likely to be targeted at bullying, which can cause a huge impact on these students. Bullying on LGBTQ plus students made a post-traumatic stress on them, had negative effect on them. Others suicide and others had sexual history. A lot of mistreatment has been happening lately, and it gives victim peoples a lot more pressure on them. This may lead to bigger issues that may experience of others, such as depression, anxiety or fear, and other that may affect them mentally or physically. As a part of the LGBTQ plus community, this is one of the biggest issues today. Mostly, children will be affected in this situation and may think that being part of the LGBTQ plus community is a sin. I would love to make the environment to be LGBTQ plus friendly and will give them peace. It will be pleasing to hear that LGBTQ plus people say this town is such a kind and welcoming place for LGBTQ plus people that mostly love to talk about everything and would listen to our side carefully. Having this type of environment will give peace to them and for other people also who isn't part of the community. One of the common issues that all people may encounter is global warming and climate change. Climate change is like the greenhouse effect. The Earth's gases in the atmosphere acts like a barrier that traps the sun's heat and stop it from leaking back to space, which may cause also global warming. This may affect a lot of people when in extreme heat. This may increase energy consumption and extreme heat in nighttime in rural and urban areas. This can be prevented by planting more trees and less pollution. Cars or smoke may cause them. So it's much better to use eco-friendly today. Today, eco-bikes are known for using a battery-charged motor that can produce smoke that may help the Earth's atmosphere. This can prevent more gases to trap in the atmosphere. Preventing this may help reduce the extreme heat experienced in any places. This can help other people more feel comfortable and at ease. Other effects of global warming are natural disasters such as floods and hurricanes. And due to extreme heat, people will suffer from diseases and injuries. Preventing this will also require a lot of help from people because mostly that causes climate change and global warming are people also. Due to their usage of cars or any transportation vehicles that can produce smoke. Pollution such as smoking as one factor and burning of trash. We should help one another in this time of crisis. With this help of this campaign, I'm here standing and stating everything that I issued that is currently affecting us every day. And this has to change for future generations. That's all, and I hope every one of you will have a vision on what I'm stating in today's campaign. Thank you.
Good day everyone, and mabuhay. I want to introduce myself first. I am Andrei Kevin M. Portugal, and I am one of your candidates that will run for president on this coming election. I want to say thank you for all of you for coming on this day and supporting me on this day on my campaign. So, if all you would like to ask if what I'm running for president, and my answer on it will be I just want to be one of the good leaders of this country. One of the leaders that will help our fellow Filipinos in many terms and fight all of the corruption on this country. And how can we fight it? By electing a new candidate. Candidate that has a good vision on this country and has a clean records and a leader that will lead our country to a better life or a better future. We will fight the government corruption and give all of the people's needs, especially a financial support. Many of the past candidates say that they will never steal, but now where are they? In prison because of steal the taong bayan's money? And I'm running to be a president to pass the law that all favor on people of the Philippines and stop corruption and get people what they need. I'm running to prove that not all the running candidates are corrupt and not all candidates has a bad intention. All I want to do is give what people needs and a good leader of this country and lead this country to a brighter future and help poor people to live and have a great life. Workers that need a high salary and rich people doesn't pay exact taxes correctly. And if you will ask why I want to run, that is the only my vision for this country. I'm here to beg on you and need of your support and thank you for coming on this campaign to all of the people out there. Thank you.
My campaign aims to support peace efforts with armed groups and make great strides in providing public services through the ongoing and effective implementation of other peace-building programs. After all, some interesting ideas came to mind, and risk-free strategies are guaranteed to fail. At the same time, despite all the creativity of these peace process advisors, I seem to be a meticulous person who is said not to agree that he can do it. My new strategy seems to be an attempt to ensure that agreements on the territory and power of the expanded autonomous region are legal and enforceable. In addition, via the continued and effective implementation of various peace-building measures, I hope to make substantial progress in supporting the peace process with armed groups and in the delivery of public services. My campaign, on the other hand, will create social work case management guide for insurgent attorneys to serve as an improved standard for case managers and extending support and services to former rebels, decommissioned combatants, and other groups who wish to return to mainstream society in order to improve efforts to deliver social services.
Good morning, everyone who attended on this day on my campaign. I'm happy to see you all and hoping to all have your support on this coming election. Allow me to introduce myself first. I'm Mr. Andrei Kevin M. Portugal, one of the candidates of this coming election. I heard of many of the people are saying COVID-19 is the most tragic problem in our country right now. Many people doesn't get any government support. If they one of the people who is affected by the COVID-19 and also the corruption of the stealing the fund of the COVID-19 of the PhilHealth. I'm running in this election to fight all of the corruption and stealing all the funds that what our compatriots need and also taking all of the response of the people who are affected by a disaster or a pandemic. Many of our leaders today just stealing money on our country and doesn't listen to people's needs. People of the workers are the one who gave the economy and the community to run, yet they are not getting all of the financial support that they need. They get low salary and also pay taxes while the richest one doesn't pay the tax at the right cost. I'm proudly standing here to all of you to say that if I win in this coming election, I will focus on the people's needs and response on what people's desire to fight all of the corruption and being honest at all costs and will have a good vision on this country. I am here having a campaign on all of you to beg and need your assistance to help me to win on this coming election. I wish to have all of your support to vote me as a new leader of our country, to everyone. Good day, and every one of all of you, mabuhay.
School closures have a terrible impact on children's learning, health, and well-being. The impact on all children, their families, their societies, and their economies will be felt over the years to come. Many children might never achieve it. School closures affect all children, but the most endangered are the most afflicted. While the school was closed, some children had access to distance learning, but many others suffered from a lack of support. At least one-third of students around the world did not have access to any form of distance learning. Despite of schools staying closed, other social gatherings, such as social events, salons, and gyms have now reopened. This generation of youngsters cannot afford any more disruptions to their education, which is why, if elected president, I would advocate for the restoration of education through numbered face-to-face classrooms. It will be a long process, but it will be done. It's clear that the government must emphasize school aid and take all necessary steps to enable students to have a bright future through education. However, not many parents or guardians can provide the equipment needed for online learning. School closures have a terrible impact on children's learning, health, and well-being. All children are affected by school closures, but the most endangered children are the most suffering.